Hello and welcome to the 2021 River City Open coverage for our FPO division. It's brought to you by 616 Graphics, Discraft, Wolfpack Discs, and Great Lakes Discs. I am on the commentator's mic, Zach O'Haron, and joining with me today I have Stacy, Innova sponsored player in this tournament. How you doing, Stacy?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm super excited to have you on the channel.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much. So first up, we have Lisa Fajkus. She is from Canyon Lake, Texas, and she is sponsored by Innova.
Yeah, great player returning back to the event. And we also have Jsaw here, a local player sponsored by Great Lakes Disc, team MVP captain.
Courtney Cannon, born in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, sponsored by Discraft.
Yeah, solid forehand player. And last on the card, we have Elizabeth Szubinski with a bit of a surprise there. Got that.
Oh my goodness.
Got a little spice for the camera here. She's looking to shoot a hot round, and we are off to the races already here at hole 1, 274 feet. Stacy, break it down. How do you attack this hole?
This hole is slightly downhill. There's a tall tree in the middle of the fairway that kind of splits. You have to make a decision, go right or left of it. If you go left, you have to shoot over some trees. And in the right, you can kind of get to the right of the basket. There is a tree jail. So you have to be pretty particular about where you're throwing it.
Yeah, the biggest danger on that right side, I would have to agree, is if you push it too deep, those trees on the right side definitely get, as you described it, jaily very quickly. Jsaw unable to beat the smaller bush on the right side, so she's going to have an upshot from there. It looks like Courtney's trying to go forehand up and over the top.
The only threat with the forehand is ending up in that jail, and you do have to get over those trees to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, looks like she'll have an open putt.
Yeah, she'll be on that right side there. There's another danger, too. This is a new hole for the course itself. There is that path on the left side. If you happen to turn it over, you can land OB as well, but you'd really kind of have to have a misfire in order to get that far to the left.
Yeah.
Or push it really deep, which is
that's
possible.
I'm not saying I didn't do that this weekend.
Elizabeth trying to
get to the right?
Not quite. Very close though.
Yeah, for sure. That was lining up pretty well.
Trees are 90% air, but not air that time. Elizabeth with a forehand.
Hit the pole.
And she is off to a nice tap in there for her par. Jsaw here kind of having to stretch out to get away from the bush.
Yeah, that's some awkward footing. But no problem.
Yeah, she's experienced. She's a team MVP captain, so she's been around the block.
And it shows.
Courtney.
Oh, such a good bid.
Right off the top of the basket. That would have been one heck of a way to start. Here we see.
Yeah, that was like mid-circle too.
Yeah, she was absolutely 40 feet or so. And Lisa going to convert the only birdie there. She's in the jail, but luckily just short enough into it where she was able to get that open putt to go.
Yeah, that's a great birdie. Way to start the tournament.
Actually is tied for the easiest hole on the course for the day for this division, averaging just under par at 2.95 with only 4 birdies carded in the first round. And we had 21 people in this division for this tournament today. As we head into hole 2, another hole that's very tackable for this division, 312 feet. Another forehand hole, do you think, Stacy?
I would say for sure. I think the elite distance for FPO for a forehand, but if you have there's plenty of room on the left-hand side for a big turnover backhand as well.
Mm-hmm. I think a forehand just shapes up really well for this. Lisa is a very good controlled backhand player. She's probably throwing something really flippy, maybe a shrike, a beat-in shrike, or maybe a mamba. I know she has some mambas in her bag as well.
Yeah, she loves her halo turn, but that was not that disc.
Luckily, we can identify the halo turn pretty quickly.
Uh-huh.
Jsaw here also opting out for the backhand here. This looks a little low.
Yeah.
And, not quite high enough, not going to get any interaction. She's going to be short.
Now, Courtney is a really strong forehand thrower. I bet that she can get in the circle on this shot.
And she is one of the more elite throwers. Kind of wobbled out of her hand, lots of Anheuser, but I think it's a force, so it is going to have that stability, and she's going to be inside circle.
Oh, yeah. That was a great shot.
She does love her forces.
She has such good control of a flex forehand, too. It's incredible to watch her throw.
Liz also going for the backhand. She's going to be on the right side, a little low as well. But luckily open enough that this is just a up shot from here. If you can get it close, you can get yourself an easy 3. And she's almost pinned it twice back to back.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. That would be helpful in my game. J-Saw probably giving this a half bid, just a little early. She's gonna
we got a good out.
Yeah, she's going to have a open putt there for her 3 save.
All right, so this is for birdie.
Oh no.
Just short.
Yeah, 1 high, 1 low. You can see it on her face, kind of shaking her head. No, not sure why she missed that. We missed Lisa's up shot there, but she's also under the basket. Good catch by the basket for J-Saw. She's going to tap in her par. Oh.
Lisa, right side miss.
That's uncharacteristic, both by Courtney and Lisa, both of which they tour regularly. You probably have heard of Lisa Fajkus before. She's a pretty popular star member, I think, for 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to get
everyone else just getting tap-ins.
Yep, got to clean it up. Looking to attack hole 3. And I like this start to the course, hole 1, 2, and 3. If you have that really elite power forehand, you can attack with a forehand all 3 holes. 382 feet. I think this one, most players are going to look to try to attack this first gap if they can with a forehand, or if they need the power or they don't have the forehand power, probably a turnover backhand.
Potentially, for sure. I think if I was a backhand player, just the way that this fairway shapes with the trees on the left-hand side, I would just try to throw something straight and just try to get to the mouth and give myself a circle, like edge of circle 2 look, and go for it there, because I'd be afraid of what looks like is about to happen to Lisa.
Okay, that's fine.
Ooh.
Oh, good. She kind of stayed out of that, but the bush is there on the right-hand side, pinch off that fairway so much.
Yeah,
and that's very scary.
Yeah, it's really bad on the right side. If you go anywhere, you want to more go left because it opens up that gap a little more than the right side, which can really pinch you off very quickly. J-Saw going with the backhand as well. This looks like it's pretty good. Oh, kept turning over.
Oh, I thought it was going to flex out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's everything inside of J-Saw's bag there is. I don't know her bag super well, but she definitely turned that one over. And Courtney,
this looks turned over as well.
Yeah, got a tree kick. She'll be in the fairway. Liz here going with the forehand as well with a Zeus. I think that's what it was.
Looks good.
This is looking super clean.
That's gonna be, that is a beautifully executed shot.
Yeah, and that's a great placement shot from Liz there.
Absolutely.
Liz has really been working on her game recently in the local area scene where she plays a lot. She has really come along and started to, in her 2021 season, has really started to take advantage of that FPO field, and you can see the work that she's been putting in, and it's good to kind of see that come together so far here in this round.
Absolutely. Oh, this looks really good.
Man, her upshots are looking really good.
Why doesn't she just hit the pole every time? I mean, she's getting within 10 feet. What great, precise upshots. It's cool to watch.
I mean, I don't think we've seen her putt yet.
Yeah. No, we have not.
We still got time. Yeah, we have lots of round left to play. Lisa in a pretty good spot, actually, to take a run there. I think that's her Sky God 2 that she throws there. Her and I had a pretty good connection in round 1. Halfway through the round, I realized what she was throwing, and I collect them, so we had a fun little conversation about that during the round.
Very cool. That's a tough putt for Courtney there at the beginning when she's shooting downhill. Her putt is a very upward motion, and so to get that to stay straight into the basket is such a challenge, especially when you're throwing downhill. It's really good execution on the comebacker, though.
Yeah. It's a little intimidating, too, coming downhill, because if you putt really aggressively and happen to miss, it's going to leave you with a bit of a comeback more than what you want.
Absolutely.
Well, we got some cleanups there. Courtney, the only one with the bogey. Everyone else able to get that par as we head into the monstrous, the most difficult hole monstrous in a good way, but still
Right.
really difficult. Par 5, this is the other really big new addition to this course this year. 795 feet, dog leg left. You see that yellow sign on the left side of the fairway. That is a Mando. So you have to land where the drone is in this first wooded area. And I would say that's probably around 350. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, that's what I measured it as when I was there.
Okay, so 350. The drone's going to take the wide gap, which is kind of this intentional, which is why it's a par 5. Go out really wide to the right side. There is a gap on the left side that if you were in a perfect position, you could attack the pin into, but it's really difficult to land there. And then once you get past this corner, you have the traditional upshot, a little wooded, a little tight, but it's still very fair, and you're trying to get that 4 if you can. I think a 4 would be a brilliant score for this hole. 5 is probably what most people are looking to get away with on this hole, because it can get away from you really quickly.
For sure. And as a player, you kind of have to... Oh, she had a little slip there.
I'm fine.
And as a player, I kind of broke this hole down into 3 parts.
Yeah.
The first part was getting to the Mando. The second part is actually a lot more intimidating in person than you would think it is. You are throwing very, very uphill through a bunch of trees to hit either the left or the right gap.
Mhm.
So I would break that down into the second phase of the hole. And then there's a third phase of the hole when you come out and it's a little bit more open. But this initial tee shot here, the ideal position would be to be on the right-hand side so that you have that opening to get up the hill as best as you can. I don't know how many of the FPO women can throw a backhand around that Mando off the tee. So this hole is definitely, as you said, monstrous, but in a very good way. I really enjoyed this hole.
Yeah, and I think even for the MPO, which we filmed as well at this event, I think maybe a couple guys can accurately kind of attack that Mando position. I mean, there's definitely people with power that can get past it, but it's one thing to just throw past that position. It's another to put it in a spot where you'll actually be able to throw. And just like you said, the ladies here have kind of put themselves in a great position to see the mandatory, kind of see this initial gap, and now they're trying to attack the hill, getting themselves in a position to kind of get around that corner in 3 shots and then try to get up and down for that par. Everything is looking pretty clean so far. Lisa, the one.
Lisa hit.
Where that went.
Go ahead.
Oh, she did hit a tree.
Yeah, she did. She knocked herself to the right side.
So she was opting for that left-hand gap.
She was just far enough to kind of see it. Courtney also had the ability to go in that inside gap. I think she felt a little uncomfortable of her follow-through in that tree that was next to her, but she was able to just pitch out into the open, while Jaysaw here is in a prime position to try to attack it.
That was a perfect position to be. Unfortunately, hits the tree branch and kind of knocks her straight down.
She'll be out in the open, but really everyone kind of like being in the right position. Even Lisa, who was trying to get aggressive off her second shot, was still in a position to get out in the open. And Liz also getting the open. The one thing I'll say about this, that in tournament past, this fairway and the next fairway kind of line up against one another. There used to be a OB line, which is not there this year. However, if it was there, some of these shots would have landed in the OB, and I'm interested to see in the future events what they do with that. Wondering if they think that would increase the difficulty of the hole, or if it even needs to be increased. It looks like on my stats here that this hole played as an average of plus 1.29, 629 average, well over par.
I'm not surprised by that.
Gonna hit it. I didn't.
I mean, our card's playing it pretty well. Everyone's kind of, in that position to kind of get up and down for their 4. Liz with an unfortunate kick, but she still has a chance to get a pretty good save here with a good upshot.
Yeah, they're making this hole look textbook. It was not this easy in person, I promise.
And I can say from experience, it is not that easy for sure. Lisa really in a nice spot here. You can see the basket. Looks like...
Narrow missing trees.
Yeah.
And the circle, 20 feet.
I would take that all day.
Oh, yeah. Luckily, wind isn't too much of a factor today. I remember in the second and third rounds, I believe, the wind definitely picked up and made this putt a lot scarier. But for right now, looks pretty clean.
Ooh, that was a good bid from Liz. That would have been a great save from her. Chase on now. Oh, and she could tell out of the hand I hate it when you do that. It just comes right out of your hand and you knew that you left it just a touch too short.
Absolutely.
Lisa with a great 5 there.
Yeah, that was a great par. What's worse, hitting cage or hitting band?
Cage.
I agree.
Cage, you had no chance. Band, you at least gave it you gave it a chance. It just didn't fall down far enough or fast enough. I putt with really stable stuff, so it tends to drop out of the sky pretty quickly. And we are continuing the trend. We have not seen Liz putt outside of, I think, like 6 feet so far.
You're completely correct.
I mean,
that is so funny.
How many holes are we going to go before we need to see her putt? I don't know. Hole 5 now, 667 feet, because I'm not going to put down the 666 that it's labeled as. What do you got, Stacy? What's the game plan here?
Well, off the tee, it's a little bit of a downhill shot. I think the ideal landing zone is behind this tee pad or ideally in front of it. Then when you're getting to this point, there are low branches that make it a low ceiling. So it's hard to get the power that you need to get up to the basket from there. But once you get to the green, the dirt makes it actually really skippy. So you have to be pretty precise on your touch for your upshot as well.
Yeah. And it is downhill like you mentioned, so you can really open up a little bit as long as you miss the trees and keep it low enough. And Lisa looks like she's doing this to pretty much perfection. Maybe a little left, but honestly a good spot.
I think she's probably still going to have a look from over there because the tree that's next to the tee pad that you're aiming for, there's still a left-hand gap, and it actually might take away some of the low ceiling.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Me either.
Trying to think back to it now. And this is a turnover from J-Saw there, but luckily no OB line in that direction and still an open hole for her to be able to save that potential birdie if she's got the power to get there, or maybe the par. And Liz, unfortunately, going to square the one tree you can't hit. I mean, you can't hit any of the trees, let's be honest. I say that one tree, but really all the trees you can't hit, and she's going to be a little short as well.
Oh, this looks good from Courtney.
Yeah, same spot as Lisa there.
Yeah, very close to where Lisa was. I'm curious to see how they tackle it. I wonder if Courtney's gonna throw a forehand and Lisa throw backhand.
Yeah, I think it's a better position for Courtney in this case because I think the forehand is more open in that position. Liz doing a nice job getting back out through the fairway. That's where the old basket used to be, so she's probably somewhere around 150 feet away, which for her today means that she's going to be 3 feet from the pin after she throws in her up shot.
Might even be touching the pole at that point.
Right, easy par for her probably. We got J-Saw slicing through this backside. Wow.
That was a really good shot. With that low ceiling to get that amount of power is very impressive.
Well, we know what this disc is. It's a crank.
Going for the forehand look.
She's slicing and dicing. She's getting a big skip, and she's going to be putting.
Circle 2?
Yeah, I mean, circle. I think maybe even circle's edge.
Oh.
We'll have to see when we get up there. Man, you called it perfectly. One forehand, one backhand.
Wow. Still had a really low ceiling to work with, though.
And she's going to be short as well, but now so far in the open that it should be a pretty textbook up and down. Now, I remember this shot because Liz's feet were right between two roots. Like she couldn't actually put her foot down without making some, risky calls there. So good on her getting that shot up there. She's going to be encircled.
Oh!
That would have been sweet.
Oh my gosh, that was almost a throw-in.
That would have been one heck of a score to have on this hole. Oh, yeah. Lisa's just putting it up there.
Yeah, just playing for par, I think, right?
Yeah.
She's putting for par.
Yeah, she will be. Courtney, you were right. Just outside circle and just right. I feel like Courtney has been like inches away from having really just a spectacular start to her round.
Absolutely.
Oh, Liz lets it go early. The pressure of that first putt of the round.
Yeah. Hole 5, first putt of the day.
I'm so sorry, Liz. It was me. I jinxed you, obviously.
Clearly.
Yeah, this is my fault. Lisa with another par. And as we come through this stretch, just want to kind of point out here, especially holes 4, 5, 6, and 7, as we see J-Saw just on the am side as well, kind of missing left there. These holes are big in length, and for the players that don't have that big arm tour power, it's going to be really difficult to kind of get in position and attack them for their birdies. And you're really not losing a lot of strokes, I think, right now in taking the pars. So these, Lisa's kind of understanding that situation, I think, and just kind of taking her medicine. Like when her drive, she looked at her position, thought she could attack it, was a little short, and said, just lay up, take the 4. We don't need to risk anything, and just try to take the best score she can.
Absolutely. I think it was for me from hole 1 to hole 6, it was just bonus birdies if I could get them, but I was playing for par completely.
Yeah, for sure. Hole 6 now, this has a tricky off the tee, 2 staggered trees. It's a really fair gap, but it plays way skinnier than it looks. I think you want to land over by that pad on the left side that the drone just passed, and then from there you got 2 gaps that you can choose, righty or lefty or forehand, depending on what you are, and then into this green that's a little uphill. Are you going with the backhand off the tee here?
No, at the time, my backhand was way more wild than my forehand, and I had way more accuracy with the forehand. I was not as brave as Lisa is here. But my biggest contender were these bushes that you see where Lisa's disc just passed in front. Mm-hmm. I was trying to get the forehand past those bushes, and I don't think I did a single time. So.
Oh, dang. It is open there that if you go on that forehand gap to the left of the tree, you could, kind of go over those bushes that Courtney just landed in. That's really, you got to avoid that spot. But you could get that forehand over there. I didn't say that off the analysis, but you are correct. That is a play as well.
I'm surprised she didn't go forehand on that one. This gap is way more intimidating in person than it looks on film.
I completely agree. I wonder if her turnover style, she was worried that the disc wouldn't have enough time to get far enough right.
You're probably right.
And she's thinking that she could get her backhand there. And we've got 2 people out in good spots, and Liz again hitting one of those early trees, but she's going to be in the fairway, still in a position to get that 4 with a good shot here. She's throwing it really low, kicks off a tree, double tree kick. She's smiling about it. She's happy. That's all that matters there.
Good spirit. No, this is a tough position for her to be in.
Yeah, this was no bueno. Nearly hitting our spotter. Quick shout out to all our spotters that came out to the event, helping it run smoothly. Appreciate all your volunteer work and coordination.
Absolutely. There are a few blind shots off the tee pad at this course where we had to completely rely on spotters. So, yes, thank you so much for coming out.
Yes. Good spot for Lisa there. She'll be able to hopefully go up and down. I feel like J-Saw's been in a patent pending position for half the round.
I completely think you're right.
She's literally been standing in that stance where she's kind of have to kind of curl around something. She hasn't been able to really just kind of square up to a shot, it feels like.
And I feel like that is a common thing for the front 6.
Yeah, lots of woods.
You're definitely fighting through some trees.
Oh, Courtney in some trouble here.
Yeah. Looks like she's on the edge, so hopefully she can make something happen.
Big turnover. She's going to be out in the probably circle 2, I think.
Yeah.
I wonder what's in her notebook. I didn't ask her. She has that notebook. Oh, my God.
Oh, another run at the pin.
J-Saw, will you throw one in already?
Please.
You're so close. I'll put that crew view in and everything. Come on, just throw one in for us. We're all waiting for it now.
We're on the edge of our seats.
Liz from
She's gonna
circles
hit the pole.
2.
Gonna touch the pole.
Pretty close. All right, Courtney, who's been kind of playing through the woods this whole... Oh my
gosh.
Like I said, she's off by inches, it feels like, the start of this course from really just kind of going off.
Showing its teeth.
Good catch.
Good putt.
J-Saw getting her par, moving on. I think Liz and Courtney will be putting in their bogeys here, and Lisa also for her par. So we got to clean this up before we move on to one of the more iconic holes of this course, one that has not changed in quite some time. And it has some interesting lines that we're going to see.
Yeah.
Yep,
Dead center.
Yep, good cleanup. And that's got to be tough, too, just feeling like you're so close to, being there and not quite being able to capitalize. But on to hole 7, 613 feet, downhill off the tee. You have this gap you have to hit. You don't want to be in the nasty thicket, right, whatever you call that, on the left side. Once you get past the gap, it opens up a little bit. You have 2 bushes to contend with. They throw over or throw forehand around and then into this protected green. Stacy, I'm assuming most players are going to throw probably a backhand off the tee and then a forehand if they have the power in order to get around those bushes.
I would have to think so. Unless you're in a position where you can try to hit the gap of these trees leading to the green. Oh, what a smash by Lisa.
Yeah, past the gap. That's a rip for sure.
The only fear you have on this tee shot is you do not want to be on the right-hand side where these spotters are. Oh, get out of it. Oh, did I just jinx her by saying that?
I think the spotter did it. That bright yellow shirt, that disc said right there that where that person is and tracked her down. Courtney also going with the backhand. So,
what a smash by Courtney.
And carries over even Lisa's disc. That's perfect position for Courtney. That opens up the forehand for her.
Absolutely ideal.
Oh, nice.
Oh, come out of it. Don't go in the stuff.
Come out of it. Oh, it looks like it's hyzering. It's right on the edge. She probably... Oh, man. Patent pending again.
Again.
Oh, this looks great, though. Yeah, super solid pull from Jasaw there in a bad spot. Able to get it into that bush, which is a good up and down from that position. So she'll be able to probably save her 4.
Wow, I wish I had that power from a patent pending. That is so impressive.
Yeah, that's a tough shot. Liz will be right behind her, and so they're both, looking like they're saving their shots here for their par looks. I think, is this a turn? Oh, yeah, it is.
Return.
She's going over the right side.
That is a small gap, okay? That is a very scary gap compared to the left side being completely open if you just throw over those 2 trees there. But that just shows Lisa's precision. To have the confidence to hit that gap from that distance is incredible.
Yeah, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
And Courtney taking that forehand gap, I think she was just a little low from what she wanted. A little more height might have been able to get her a little closer, but they will both have short circle 2 looks. Oh, this needs to hold. It's going to be in the circle, but maybe a little obstructed.
Definitely a little hard. Yeah. There's going to be some trouble. See, I like this play. She landed up to the shade. Veteran move for sure to get out of the sun,
Be comfortable. It was pretty toasty today. I do remember that.
I do too.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, gosh.
Courtney and Jasaw, please just put it in. We're dying here. You guys are throwing so many good shots. Reward yourself.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, great 3 from Lisa.
That is a tough 3 to get.
Liz,
Oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah, she's too obstructed there. Had to kind of go with a hyzer putt. And
I think she was on a knee as well.
good putt from Jasaw.
Yeah.
She's going to walk away with her par. I think Liz gets a 5 here. Yep. And Courtney. All right, she's not going to putt with the bag. Smart.
You make that mistake once, you don't do it again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've learned my lesson in the past, and she's able to stop the bleeding there with a good 4 as we head into hole 8. This is a pretty tough one. It's really just how far you can get across this kind of valley. It kind of goes downhill and then back uphill. It ends probably pretty close to the same level as the pad, maybe a little farther uphill, so probably plays closer to 450. It is a smash to get across this, and I think 3 is a fine score for you, like for this field. What do you think?
Personally, I feel like this is not reachable for the FPO division, at least for a birdie, obviously. But this grass is also very grabby now that we're at this part of the course. So it plays a little differently than the front 6, but you can make it an easy, healthy 3. And, obviously, it's so open. As long as you can play the wind correctly, we're all just hoping just to get our tap in 3s and move on.
Yeah, definitely looking to not not take damage. Is one of those holes where, it's so open that you just got to make sure you're in the fairway, get a good upshot, and move on.
Yeah.
Courtney going with a forehand here. She thinking she's going to get that a little more distance out of it, make it the upshot a little easier, potentially. Puts out a lot of Anheuser, and it is flying. Yeah, that's a great shot.
And such impressive distance for her forehand. It always blows my mind with that.
Liz here pulling one over. Oh, this looks like it could be very healthy as well down the fairway. Comes out of the shade.
Did it hit that tree?
I think it just landed in the shade. I don't think it actually hit the tree, so I think she got a full flight out of it. Oh yeah, she definitely did. This is a great spot for her to be in. She needs this to get over left though. And this is the first time I think I've seen her upshot not hit the pin.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, what's happening?
Don't make her putt.
Yeah. Sky got 2 from Lisa here. Nice, nice and close. This is kind of the disc of choice to kind of get her really close to the basket. Oh, this is... Oh
my goodness.
I mean, we're making runs at baskets. It's only a matter of time until we get one to fall.
Well, this is super fun to watch.
God, Jay Saw kind of fluffing that one a little bit. You can see she's not happy with the result of that, but she's still being circle. Hopefully be able to save that 3.
No, this is from 25 feet or further. She gave herself a tester. Oh, and just short.
Not quite far enough. Hole 8 surprisingly playing as one of the more difficult holes. So actually was a... Oh no, Jay Saw off the left side again. But the hole played a little more of a separator than I would have anticipated, averaging 3.48 for the day. So definitely, yeah, showing its teeth a little bit there, making sure everyone who struggles with those upshots kind of gets punished and kind of rewarding the putters. And like you said, in the laters in round, well, we come back for round 3. Round 2 is at another course. But in round 3, when it is a little bit windier, if you're not real close, this is a very exposed basket. Wind can impact just about anything.
For sure.
All right, we got one more hole left on this front 9, and that would be hole 9, in case you were wondering at home. Par 3, 287 feet, probably one of the more treacherous greens on the course. It's very sloped, and it slopes towards the woods. What do you think the play here is, Stacy?
Well, it's very memorable for the fact that it's completely blind off of the tee. It's so uphill off the tee that you can't see the pin. So again, shout out to the spotters. This is one of those holes where we needed you, absolutely. But the interesting thing about this hole is with the downhill slope where the basket is, if you throw a backhand, it's going to keep pushing it left based on the spin and the angle of the hill. So there's also this tree on the left-hand side with low branches, and I can't remember if it's a bush or a tree, but it makes a lot of putts very difficult. Yeah. And I think it took away the forehand look. It's
right in the way of the forehand line and the backhand landing zone, which is hilariously frustrating. But we have, this is looking park jobby. Yes, it is.
What a shot.
So that's what you're supposed to do right there.
I did not do that.
Yeah, most people didn't. And we actually have Jay Saw's parked. Lisa was off to the right, I think, and Courtney had hers come out of her hand, like slipped right out of her hand and went straight in the hill. So she's going to have this upshot from 200 feet, but at least can see the top of the basket now.
Yeah.
Oh, and she's headed right for that tree. Yep, hit it.
Just outside the circle. It's a shot to save for par.
And this is a scary putt for par, I might add. Mm-hmm. Well, not a pole hit, but 3 feet, so we'll count it.
I'll give it to her.
All right, I think she's probably choosing just to lay that up, right?
I can't tell. I want to say it was a layup, but maybe one of those like half bids.
Fire. There we go.
Wow, what a par save.
That was a scary putt from Courtney, but she's able to hit it. Yeah, the hole played as the second, also tied for the easiest on the day at 2.95 with 3 birdies on the day from Jay Saw, giving a big smile to the camera there. She said, that was easy. I remember, too, when we were walking up to that basket, she's like, wait, where'd my disc go? Because she thought she had landed way right, and we're like, it's right there. You can reach the basket. So she was pretty happy about that.
Like, hey, look by the pole.
Yeah, got some pretty good scores. Lisa really leading the pace here. Courtney and Jaysaw not too far behind.
Yeah, for sure. It was a really good start to the tournament. Awesome to see all these ladies making all these runs and really impressive circle 2 putts. So I'm excited to see what the second half of this round has to offer.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in the back 9.